Hi everyone and welcome to the Aries Moon Girl channel. This is going to be another sample of the free gift happiness readings that I'm offering to my loyal viewers on this channel. And there's no one that has supported me more from the beginnings of this channel than Jean-Marc. Jean-Marc, I'm really pleased that I can do a reading for you as you have done for me in the past. And I hope I get it right. For everyone else that is looking for a happiness reading or a compatibility reading or a reading of their own birth chart super strengths, superpowers, visit my site down below. It's a beautiful site. Just have a look at it and maybe you would want to book one of the readings for yourself. Hi Jean-Marc, this is your astro reading for happiness. Before I go into this, as I did for the other readings, I'm just going to explain a bit what I'm doing in this reading and, and how I get to the concept of happiness. First of all, I look at the moon because the moon is where we feel most secure, because it's our ancestral information, because it's what we gained in this life in the first years of our lives, or if you want to believe in this, what we brought with us from our past life, and what we put in our intention box for this lifetime. And the moon, in my opinion, controls even more than the sun the way you are acting on an everyday basis. Sun is a very conscious thing, so we're aware of what we're doing and we're aware that we're acting like the sun. But the truth is that I think that to a greater proportion we're acting from our moon sign, which is our subconscious mind, and this is actually influencing everything that we do without thinking too much about it, even our body language, or our reaction under stress, our affection, our show of affection, and everything that we value subconsciously and is influencing our everyday life. So if you don't understand the moon, but I know I'm talking to you, Jean-Marc, so you know very well about everything, but if you don't understand your moon, I don't believe that you can truly understand yourself, and I don't believe that you know what would make you happy, or you know how to bring happiness to your life, if you don't understand what your subconscious mind is longing for. The second planet is Venus, that I'm going to look at, and this is because it's the planet of pleasure, of what we value, of indulgence, of love as well, of everything that we attract into our lives, and what we value and what we like to experience in our lives. So at I think the moon is again at a more deep level what makes us happy. I think the Venus part is already a bit more conscious, and it's ongoing, and we're attracting these things to us anyways. It's just more about really understanding your placement and understanding to give in to what makes you what brings you the most pleasure. And then the third thing I'm looking at, and I hope you will agree with me, Jean-Marc, is the sign for sustainable, for sustainable happiness, and that's the North Node. And the North Node is something where we don't go always. It's something that where we go only when we feel really good. When we're not feeling that good, we kind of default into our South Node. It's really easy to always bounce back to the South Node because it's so comfortable and it feels so natural to be there. But like everything that doesn't grow, it dies. This is the same thing with the South Node. If you're hanging too much with your South Node, you will feel that your happiness is dying, that you're not bringing new happiness into your life, you're not bringing new fulfillment. And actually the North Node, in my opinion, is that one secret to long time fulfillment, although we don't always feel like it. And we both have the 8th house to 2nd house. We can hang in the 8th house of going deep into people's emotions and things like that, but you will see that at one point it's just not bringing enough happiness, and the North Node is the way towards happiness. So in my opinion, this is another sign that I'm looking at, another placement that I'm looking at, and that's the North Node. And I believe that this is the secret to long time fulfillment, until that we should follow until the end of our lives. We get a break with the North Node. We get given our whole life to follow it, but I think at one point we should realize this and just give into it as much as we can. Okay, so now I explained a bit what I'm looking at. Now I'll go into your chart. And as I was mentioning in our conversation, I was for the first time realizing that both the Moon and Venus are in the 4th house for you, and both are in Libra. So in my opinion, these two kind of tell the same story. I usually find that every chart has kind of 3 or 4 things that tell the same story. So, but I'll start still with the Moon first, and I'll talk a bit about Moon in Libra. And so Moon in Libra is, in my opinion, really very, very dependent and at the same time balanced by other people. Moon in Libra is not a moon that can exist without the existence of others. Libra is that one point in the zodiac, once the sun has gone from Aries, that mostly exists on its own, to Virgo, and it steps into a new stage. It steps into the stage of you and me, and happiness can only mean happiness if it's somewhere in the middle, if it's based from our exchange, if it's satisfying for both parts, or at least if it's somehow balancing you and another person. So a Moon in Libra, in my opinion, is the moon of a person that's really open to others, and is really open to get to know another person. It's good in partnerships, but I think also in discussions with other people, it's the moon of a person that wants to get to know the other, wants to exchange thoughts with the other, because it's an air sign. So the Moon in Libra always believes that the truth is somewhere in the middle, in that exchange of words. And this moon actually being in the 4th house, for me the 4th house, we can always associate it back to Cancer, but beyond associating it to Cancer, the 4th house for me is the IC, and it's the seat of the soul, if you can call it like that. It's where the soul lives. And having your moon there, which is actually your subconscious mind, in your soul seat, makes it somehow emotional, makes it loads it with a meaning, it loads it with emotional soul meaning. For me, the moon in the 4th house needs pretty much as your moon in Libra needs human connection. So human connection is extremely important for you, but at the same time, the moon in the 4th house needs protection in that human connection, because once you realize that you have your soul there, you need to somehow protect it, or put a shell around it, have something to contain it, to keep it there. So for me, this placement is, first of all, a very beautiful placement, because there's this Libra beauty of exchange, and then there is this raw emotion of the 4th house, and soul emotion. There is this need to protect and be protected, the need to connect and be connected to people, the need to share emotion, and the need to belong. The 4th house is a very big need to belong. So Libra wants to belong in the sense like be accepted by the other, but the 4th house wants to belong in the sense, okay, I have a basis, I have a foundation, I have a emotional stability foundation. This is why it's the house of family, because usually we get this foundation from an emotional stability from our family. It's like, okay, you belong to us, and you will be protected. It's a safe emotional place where you can let your emotions and love out. And the thing is, with it has aspects both to the moon. It has aspects both to Jupiter and to Saturn, and we discussed Jupiter Saturn, and I believe I don't believe Jupiter Saturn conjunction is a bad thing. I believe that Jupiter on the one hand gives expansion, and Saturn gives contraction, and I believe this is how the world functions. We need to expand in inspiration, and then we need to contract and get it done. Only that when it's with our emotions, it can be a bit irritating, or a bit you might not know what to do, because you expand your heart, you expand your soul, your emotions, your you know, that little 4th house heart gets expanded and excited, and so, and then Saturn comes in and puts it, says, no, we're holding it safe, we're holding your soul, your heart safe. And this is a back and forth. So you probably feel back and forth that you need to protect your emotions, and that you depend on others, so you need to express your emotions and be connected to others. So it's a back and forth between protection and connection, which is vital for a moon in Libra and for a moon in the 4th house. It's just that protection is anyways there in the 4th house. Is with Saturn, it's adding a bit of fear to it. It's not only protection; it's a bit of fear of being hurt as well. So in order for you to be happy with this moon, you need to be able to connect to people on an also on a philosophical level, because Jupiter there, again, philosophical. You need to be able to exchange, connect, and have a deep security in your relationship with people. So at the same time be able to, and free and open enough to exchange ideas, but knowing that they won't hurt your soul, that they will take care of it. So definitely connection, human connection, is the one statement here. Then with Venus conjunct Mercury in the same 4th house, also in Libra, what you value the most is also this harmony between people. You value beauty and harmony, you value harmonious relationships. And because it is conjunct Mercury, you value harmonious communication, you value communication as the way to harmony. And because it is in the 4th house, again, it's you would like to be able to do this from a safe place. You would like to be able to communicate and harmonize with people that are really close to your heart, that are really close to you. And I believe it's a beautiful, beautiful placement. Again, it's squaring this time Jupiter and Saturn, so the same comes out, the same expansion and then contraction, and it is a sort of game there, of going 2 steps forward, of being open to communicate and exchange ideas, and then pulling back to not be hurt, pulling back to not have your soul to not have your soul hurt. So it's I think for happiness you would need to have in your life relationships with people where you can feel safe on the one hand, but where you can also be harmonious and exchange ideas and live a life full of harmony and philosophy, because Jupiter is asking for philosophy as well. Live a life full of, so on the one hand it's that expansion, but you need to be sure that that person that you are expanding with does it from a safe place. And Saturn, usually where Saturn is, even if it's with Jupiter, I gave you the example of Barack Obama. He has this, and my husband also has Saturn with Jupiter. And I've noticed this, and I looked at it. It's a bit of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you're still going forward. You're always going forward. It's just that sometimes it might seem discouraging because you had to make that step back, because you always have to make 1 step back. And the same is with your relationships. You feel like, oh, we're getting so close, we're exchanging so much, it's so harmonious, I'm finding the common ground. I depend on this relationship with people. I depend on the exchange with them. And then something comes in and disappoints you, or puts you 1 step back, and then you feel like, oh no, why? Because Saturn is the pessimistic planet, and although Saturn is always succeeding, it brings irrational fears and setbacks that hurt, because this is what Saturn does. But Saturn is the one that reaches the highest top, so it's not to be taken. It's not to be taken so literally. It's only seeing, okay, I'm just going a bit slower, but therefore I'm building something stronger. And the same, and for you, this has to do with relationships. This has to do with human relationships, and because it's Venus and it's Libra, I would think that it has to do with one-on-one relationships also. So you would need to have a safe environment, preferably from family, from a one-on-one relationship, from something where you build slowly the confidence. But it can also be, of course, from friends, and it can also be from just partnerships with other people. But yeah, definitely you need to be happy. You need that connection, human connection. That's a very important thing, and fearing it will not help. And knowing that you are secure in that relationship is what will truly make you blossom. Okay, and now we're on to the North Node, and here we always discuss, and probably you know it even better than me. And usually when I give advice, and I realized I gave this advice to other people as well, and they might not identify with the North Node immediately when I'm telling them about the North Node. They usually go back to the South Node and say, yeah, but I am like this. And the same for you and I. So in your case, it's an Aquarius. It's an Aquarius 8th house situation that you're going back to. So you're, first of all, with the Aquarius, you're used to sit back and watch others and observe, not be center stage yourself, but sit back, analyze, watch others, let others take the show, and you analyze and play God in the background for understanding them. And the 8th house again does this. It's playing God in the background of the psychic. It's not center stage. And the North Node just wants you, in order to be happy, you just need to take that center stage. You need to take all eyes on you, all lights on you, and at the same time be less concerned with other people than with with actually your own stability, security. This is, again, I think this second house helps you with what you want to achieve in the fourth house as well. Wants to give you, okay, once you have material security, or once you have security in yourself, also the security in other people might come easier. So it's not being afraid to take center stage. It's not being afraid to become maybe well off financially. It's all this is necessary for you to feel that safety that your North Node is longing for, and at the same time the next step that you need to make in this life. And I know this also from myself. I'm doing the same 2, 4, 5 steps towards my North Node, and then I go back to my South Node because it's the easier way out. But once you start achieving what the North Node wants to, and I think you're doing this through your talks and through your storytelling, like the Leo center stage. The Taurus part is also in the working. So the reward for your center stage, the money coming in, the abundance and stable surroundings that you can create through taking this stable stage. This is what will bring you fulfillment for the long run. This is what will bring you sustainable fulfillment in your life. Okay, so this was my happiness reading for you, Jean-Marc. Please let me know what you think. I value your opinion very much, and as I said before, I value all your support. And for anyone that wants to go to see Jean-Marc's website, he also offers beautiful astrology stories and karmic interpretations. I'll also put it down below. And if you want to go and see my website for happiness readings and compatibility readings and superpower readings, I'll put that link also below. Until next time, I'm Aries Moon Girl. I care about the stars, but most of all, I care about you.